I heard the thing about
Welcome to EOTECH. What's going on, guys? We're here at EOTECH headquarters in Plymouth, Michigan, and today we're going to show you how we build the holographic weapon sight, just to show you how much we do here in Michigan. And today you're not alone. We have Vanleethea, donut operator, administrative results, and Brandon Herrera joining the tour. All right, enough standing around. Let's get inside to our first stop, optics, where we expose the reticle with a big laser.
The first step in building HWS sight is optics. This is done in a clean room environment, so you have to wear special gear and safety glasses when it goes into the first step of the operation of the optics process, which is the exposing.
We're going to start with the exposing room. We're going to go through the beta door, rotating door. And the reason why we do this is because this operation has to be done in the dark.
Oh, hello.
This is basically the operation that we have here, where we shoot the images at the end of the operation, at the end of these tables. What we do is we actually shoot a laser light, and this is where we actually capture the images. So,
I don't see many laser guns. Were there supposed to be more laser guns for the tour?
They called it right. You were the problem.
okay, all right. So this is the sealing room. This is your end product. You're gonna have the film and the 2 cover plates on either side. And as you can see, you have the 9 images.
You guys saw optics where we expose the images, we seal them together. This is where we cut them out of plate form into image form so they can go in the housing cell, into the housings.
And that's it. So the first step is they'll take a collimator, which is one of the optical components, and they'll load the collimator inside the housing, fill a mirror in there. So it's just sitting there loosely right now. They're just loading it, prepping it, get ready to be bonded. So once they are loaded in place, they'll position the collimator to its designated position, and they'll actually tack it with a UV adhesive. After it's tacked in position, it'll go through another bond process with another UV adhesive. And this is where we get the strength of the bonds. We do the bonding with a collaborative robot, as you can see here, with a 2-part epoxy. So we'll load the housing with the hologram inside these jigs. We'll load those jigs onto a platform, and then we'll bond it using these robots.
That's pretty sick.
We'll then bring it to the cleaning operation over here. They use an assortment of chemicals, IPA, acetone, methanol, water, just to clean the optical components, getting ready for quality.
This is where it all comes together into the final site, right? So both of these stations, station 1 and 3, elevation and windage, both use a shaft and nut to move the flex body, which is part of the second station.
What are they working on here?
Shafts,
Shafts and nuts.
shafts and nuts.
Hey, I need you to dial it down right now. Right.
This is where we put in the battery contacts, so just to make the site power up. The cool thing is these fixtures are interchangeable. So like right now, we're running a site that has a CR123 battery. We can swap these out so we can do AA battery units.
Nice.
So it's pretty interchangeable when it comes to these stations here. So moving on, this is where the electronic meets the housing. And this is the first of our functional tests. Basically, we're testing the windage and the elevation, making sure that the site has full travel left and right, up and down. For what someone might use to zero their rifle or whatever gun. And then finally we put the hood on, the protective hood. And then everybody's favorite, this is what we call the thumper, but basically it's a simulated recoil machine. So each site gets thumped 40 times to make sure that it functions right.
Does it thump the shaft and nuts?
It thumps the shaft and nuts inside the site.
I learned how to do that in middle school.
My office was right outside of this for like 3 years.
Yeah.
So this is in my nightmares, this sound is. We do the functional check. The final is a seal test, so a purge test to make sure there's no water seals. And then we put nitrogen in the site and seal it with a screw that has an O-ring. That way it's kind of a neutral environment in the site when it's done.
All right, so at this point, we're going to go into the quality lab. We've got several benches here where the team that is exiting right now do a lot of the inspection, audit testing that we do on a daily basis, multiple audits that happen from the production line stuff. And we also have a couple pieces of equipment back here.
One of our key tools that we use is called Keon's IM series optical comparator. If we've got a bunch of parts to check, we can just set a jig up in here, put the part in, hit the measure button, and it'll measure it.
Dunk tanks. We use dunk tanks for immersion testing. All of our products have certain parameters with respect to dunk, duration, and how far can you go into the water with them. The next piece of equipment we'd like to show you, we do thermal shocks here. Thermal shocks are, so basically you have a basket here and goes between hot and cold. It's a very good test method for finding problems with specifically electronics, adhesives, glass. So this is used quite a bit in any kind of product development. So you'll be at like 60 or 70 degrees or even hotter, and then all of a sudden you're going down to like minus 40. Behind you, this is something probably more dear to the operators. We do durability checks on our buttons. So on this one, we got our E-flexes here. We got the pneumatic cylinders and they'll press, and we'll do thousands of cycles to make sure the buttons are working correctly.
Get that camera out of my face.
So this is the last stop for the HWS and all of our parts after we create them. So this is the pack area. So all the sites behind you that you're admiring are all finished parts. And then this is basically where we pack it, right? So fairly simple process overall.
And you got that one going to my address,
That
correct?
is going straight to you.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
It's a 3-110 too, so this is a newer one.
Yeah, it's perfect. I just don't see any, I don't see my address anywhere around like the labels
We
or
gotta
anything.
we gotta get over to shipping. So
okay.
I'll let you put it in.
Okay,
Reddit, we all know your head.
well, my bad. That silly goose doxed himself.
That's it.
Oh, this is where they get put in those boxes and throw away immediately.
You have a finished site.
That's crazy, man.
It's all yours.
It's nuts.
You heard it, man.
That's good. We won't tell anybody.
EOTECH.